the 10th Recon, the instructors, this is how I think it was, wanted to cook up something for themselves. They had been fooling around and going to Aspen, knew how great it was. They wanted to go directly from Camp Hale to Aspen, which is about 45 miles as the crow flies. And they wanted to make it hard on top of it. You take an azimuth, boom, and that's it. And you go that way. So in order to get permission for it from the division, they cooked up this exercise, and they would take people from each of the battalions and whatnot, a few. And that's what it was, 15 of them, and I think it was 20 of us. And we did it. And we went out, and everybody made it. And it was a bitch. I mean, it was a bitch. It was a full pack, 90-pound packs, all provisions, this is midwinter. All tactical, so no fires. You dig your own snow huts or igloos and whatnot, and you have your skis and snowshoes. But when you're going on an azimuth, you got no path. You know what it is. Even through the woods, go do it. You know, how are you going to do it? Well, we did it. It was 4 days and 4 nights, and we got in, and I've never forgotten. I'm sure nobody who ever took it ever forgot it. Nothing was ever harder. Sitting in a foxhole with shells falling all around, or all the stuff that you were called on to do, or the personal stuff that happens in life, nothing ever compared to it. So you just say, oops, not up to that. You can do it, or you can try. But the thrill of just being there and doing this impossible thing and doing it. I mean, 90 pounds is a lot of weight with 118 pounds in your body, you know. And I don't know how we even got through it or did it and whatnot. And then you're suffering together, of course. There's a lot of camaraderie and whatnot. And hard. I mean, heavy snows. We had 2 or 3 snowstorms along the way, and everything you can imagine that's in your path. You have to visualize it. But anybody saying in the mountains, I'm going to go from here to there without deviation, you got the same problems, even without the pack. I mean, it's a bitch. And it was wonderful. And we rolled in to Aspen. I don't remember right now how we rolled in. Probably in back of here somewhere and came in. But the first thing I remember in Aspen is the Jerome Hotel, actually. White as white can be. And literally on that street, there was the Jerome and what I didn't know it at the time, what was the Aspen Times building down the street. That was it. And there are a few other buildings in town, brick buildings and whatnot, and a lot of leftovers from miners and some whorehouses and, you know, the regular stuff that would be in a small town. And what a town. That mountain was looking up there. The Roche Run had been cut already. And our skiing, and we stayed for, I don't know how long. I think it was about 6 or 7 days. It was a nice stay. And at $1 a day in the Jerome, by the way, with meals, to the Army. And with the crud, the Aspen crud and the bar and all of that. In the morning we went out. I remember 2 or 3 days we skied on the boat tow, the oar tow that they had at the bottom of the Roche Run. I think it's over in, I don't know, I think it's over near that cemetery near the Aspen Club. The actual tow, it held about 7 or 8 people. They used to throw ore into it, so they pulled it up, threw the ore in, and when the ore came down, it was enough to pull the weight up of whoever was in the tow. And that's how we get up the bottom of the Roche Run every day for a few days, etc. We went up Little Annie, came down Midnight Mine. We went up Midnight Mine once and skied down the mountain. Everybody made it. It was just amazing. Within the other things that we did in the ski trips, there's many, many that fell out. And at one time, I froze 4 fingers and 3 toes or something or other. And I mean, all kinds of stuff happened. But on this particular thing, these guys were just fantastic. One took care of us. And leadership there really paid off. So it was a thrill. After the second day, you knew you could die out there, but you weren't going to quit, you know. And that was part of the whole thing with this particular outfit. Good memories, good stuff, every bit of it. Hard, but just great. And the nature, it's really what pulled me back here. I'm probably jumping ahead of myself or something. But it's really what pulled me back here, which is long story, how you get there. But we were at a time having to leave Europe after 28 years, 29 years in Europe, and not planning on coming back to the States and having to come back for health and where we were going to go. And it so happens I had taken a hit and we sort of lost everything that we had. And I came into Santa Fe because my daughter was there. And we stayed about 3 months. My wife liked it. I started a gallery, and right away I got my own butt covered and whatnot. And I knew how close we were to Aspen. I said, I got to go look. We came up here. The very day I came up, a friend I knew here was going by horse over to Crested Butte, going over the Maroon Bells east and coming back over the west. And invited me along. I did it, but I had had a heart thing at that time. So I didn't know if I could. I knew I was going to be up above 11. Good way to find out. So we went over by horse, and Crested Butte stayed there, and I just couldn't believe how beautiful. And then walked back on the east. Have you ever done it? It's, you know, it's nice. And when I get to the top of the east, and one of the lightning things break it. I mean, really, in the normal early summer. And these guys are right up the pass, you know, and they're huddling and they start to lie down on the ground. I said, no way, you know, pick your pack up. Hail, that was a time in Denver they had hail the size of large golf balls, something like $800 million of damage to cars. Well, this is the same thing. Coming down, put your packs over your head, and we've been through this before, and run for the trees because you're going to get killed up here. And we did, and we all made it. And I came back and I said, this is it. And Barbie said, what do you mean this is it? We can't even afford where we are and whatnot. And Bill Sterling was our ex-mayor, the first guy I looked at in town, first real estate office. And I said, hey, and this and that, and what the background was. Came over and showed me this place, came up the drive, and I saw the river out here. I said, I'll take it. And we rented this, and it's been 15 years. Got lucky. It was in January, February 44. I went into the service in 1943 in March. And this was in the winter of the beginning in 44, January, I think it was. And I don't have very much memories of it. I came back 3 times to Aspen, though, to ski and to whatever. And beside Leadville was fairly close, and that was one of the spots on our young boys list. Yeah, I liked the feeling of it then very much. But really what I liked, and really what I came back for, had nothing to do with the city. It had to do with the wilderness surround. And boy, did I find it. There's really no changes. You know, everybody bitches how much changes, how this, how that, and whatnot. Well, let them get off their butt and go back. Nothing has changed. Nothing at all.